Happy Teacher Appreciation Week, Kindmakers. This episode is a celebration of educators everywhere, the people who shape not only what we know, but who we become. Over the course of this podcast, we've noticed something remarkable. An overwhelming number of our guests trace their understanding of kindness back to a teacher who believed in them, encouraged them, or simply showed up with compassion when it mattered most. So this season, before each interview, we asked our incredible guests to record a short pep talk for teachers. Today, we're honored to share those kind messages with you, whether you're an educator yourself, work in the education space, or want to celebrate a teacher who changed your life. We hope these words serve as a reminder that the kindness you bring into the classroom has a ripple effect far beyond it. Your work matters deeply. To help guide this special episode, I am thrilled to be joined by someone who embodies the spirit of kindness in the classroom every single day. Kindness.org's very own Learn Kind program manager, Megan Peterson. Megan so diligently runs Learn Kind, our free K-8 kindness curriculum powered by scientific inquiry. She is a former teacher, a phenomenal colleague, and a dear friend. Welcome, Megan.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Honored to have you.
I'm happy to be here, especially for today's episode. So I'm Megan, program manager of Learn Kind at kindness.org, and I am a former elementary educator. If there's one thing that I've learned over the years, it's that teachers aren't just shaping what students learn, but also who they become. And often they're making a difference in the many quiet, unseen ways that aren't always celebrated. So at Learn Kind, we support that work by giving teachers tools to help students explore kindness through curiosity and scientific thinking. And while we've reached 450,000 students over about 82 countries to this point, which is really, it's really wild. The real magic comes from the teachers that bring these lessons to life every day. So this episode is really just a small way of saying that we see you, we appreciate you, and we're so grateful for the impact that you're making every day.
Wonderful. Megan, thank you. Shall we get to our first pep talk?
Of course, let's do it.
All right.
Kindness.
Why kindness?
Because it makes a difference.
For connection.
Kindness can change lives.
It's contagious.
The science says you'll be glad you did.
Kindness is the key to a healthier, happier world.
Why kindness? While no one answer is the same, one thing is clear. Kindness is something we all know, but do we know why it matters? I'm your host, Jaclyn Lindsey, co-founder CEO of kindness.org, and you're listening to Why Kindness.
We thought it made sense to start with someone currently infusing kindness into the education space. Best-selling author and keynote speaker, Demma.
I often think about the most important jobs in our world, and one that always comes to mind is the job that you do as an educator, as a teacher. As someone who works with a lot of young people, I receive messages on a weekly basis of individuals, students from all over the globe who are struggling with their self-identity, their self-image, their mental health, their well-being. And it's you. It's the teacher and the educator who serves and support young people in what they do. Please keep doing the work you're doing. Please keep showing up for the young people you serve and know that you are making a massive difference.
I'd say that was a strong start. Our next pep talk comes from Dr. Hadiyah-Nicole Green, whose journey to becoming a STEM pioneer was heavily impacted by educators throughout her life.
To all of the teachers everywhere, this is Dr. Hadiyah-Nicole Green, one of the first African-American women in the world to earn a PhD in physics and develop a technology to kill cancer. I personally want to thank you for your service, your dedication, and hard work. It is not easy being a teacher. And on behalf of students everywhere who go off to do things you never thought we would, thank you. Keep up the good work. And no, you don't get paid enough, but you're worth everything and more. Thank you so much for all your service.
Wow, what an inspiring force she is. While we're in the doctor space, let's hear from clinical psychologist and postdoctoral researcher, Dr. Suraj Samtani, who has quite the beautiful metaphor to share.
Thank you to all the teachers listening today. Just want to say a big thank you for all the work that you're doing. And I want you to remember to show kindness to yourself, because kindness is like a light bulb. If it shines within you, it will shine outside of you as well. So I want you to take a second to close your eyes and visualize yourself in a place where you felt a sense of happiness and belonging, and let that light fill you up.
Love that. And while kindness is like a light bulb, it also shines like a star. Next up, we have the lovely Cynthia Yip of Tiny Jars of Stars.
Yeah, so during my life, one of the greatest teacher I had encountered is Mr. Valcourt. He was my high school teacher, and he taught me math. But not only that, he saw that at that time I was a student that was really shy. I didn't really speak up often, and I just didn't feel confident at all. So he saw all those things in me, and he really reached out to make sure that I felt safe, I felt seen, and I felt heard. And as a teacher doing that, it really gave me the confidence that, I'm okay being in this classroom, and that I'm okay sharing my ideas, my thoughts, and it doesn't even have to mean that whether it's correct or not correct. So I think for teachers being able to create that space for students, it's something that's extremely positive, and it really does resonate with the student even years later when they're grown up and they're adults. So thank you, Mr. Valcourt, and thank you to all the teachers out there that's doing amazing work day after day.
How delightful. I loved learning that we were meeting the day of her birthday. Now, my friend, best-selling author, and speaker Chester Elton shines a light on the importance of teachers in every person's journey.
You know, when we look back in our lives and we think of those pivot points, those people that really made a difference in our lives, it's always a teacher, a mentor, a coach. And there are lots of titles in business and there's lots of titles in the world. I don't think there's any greater title than teacher, because you as a teacher make such a difference in so many lives. I think back to a teacher I had that just encouraged me to read more, to have a book by the side of my bed that had nothing to do with school or work, just to stay curious and to grow as a person. You know, that one tip from that one teacher has had such a huge impact on my life. And I know you don't always get this positive feedback. I'm telling you, every day you'll say a little something, you'll encourage someone that you may never even know that you did, that years and years later will have made such a huge difference in their lives. So from me to you as a teacher, thank you. There's no more noble profession in the world than to be a teacher. Thank you.
What a meaningful sentiment. From one leader to another, Olympian Marion Jones gives a golden pep talk, reminding you that you are the real impact makers.
I'm so excited to chat, particularly with the teachers, the real impact makers in our world. I believe that wholeheartedly. And I like to use the example that when I lost what I thought was so important in my life many years ago, I also lost what most people would call like leadership, the medals and the podiums and even like the cameras. But for me, leadership came back to me in another form. Today, for me, leadership looks like kind of walking into a room of students or entrepreneurs and telling the truth about my failures. I like to lead, and you'll see where all this is going, teachers, here in a moment. But I like to lead not only from a place of like perfection, but also from a place of being vulnerable. And I've learned that real leadership truly is rooted in kindness, which is who our teachers are that make such a big impact in our lives. And it's not just like commanding little people from above. It's about meeting them where they are and lifting them up, and Learn Kind and kindness.org absolutely encompasses all of that. And so hats off to all the teachers that are listening and that every day get up and they do one of the hardest, besides parenting, one of the hardest jobs in the world. So thank you.
Yes, a lot of guests acknowledged how impactful teachers are on all walks of life, including my dear friend, filmmaker Stephen Sawalich.
Hi. I just want to say to all the teachers out there, you're doing an amazing job. You don't always get a lot of credit, but doing the documentary Case for Kindness, one of the questions I asked people was who's had the most impact in their life and why? And every single answer was a teacher. You know, whether it was second grade, fourth grade, or fifth or later, it was always a teacher that has an impact in somebody's life and the most memorable. So keep doing what you're doing. We appreciate you and thank you.
Everyone's really making a case for teachers, if you will. Here's another great reminder from creator turned author Jimmy Darts.
The one, you probably have the most important job in the world. I mean, you're literally, the parents drop off their kids and they're there and they're being sponges. And obviously, there's curriculum you have to teach them that you don't get to like change or whatever, but obviously, your attitude, your persona as you're doing that and how you do it, how you love on those kids. I think that when you're a kid, you for sure remember who your teachers were. And so I think that they just have such an important job, and being able to love them and just be a light to them is such a powerful thing. And they're raising up world changers. The kid picking his nose in the third row, he might end up being the president one day. You never know. So I think the rooms are so powerful, and when teachers are able to see the kids like that, I think it really makes a big difference. But just an incredible job. And I would say anyone who desired to be a teacher, be encouraged, like that's a very selfless thing to want to do. I mean, obviously we all have different passions and stuff, but really wanting to like guide your whole life to just like help kids and teach kids and be patient with kids when many people would get frustrated or whatever, like that's a really cool thing. And it comes with a really big responsibility. So just have fun with it and just know that the kids love you. Even if, one of them has a smart comment towards you, they probably, do the same thing to their parents. But at the end of the day, they would like do anything to have you as their teacher.
Seems like we have quite a lot of authors this season, but only one illustrator, the joyful Holly Haddam, who actually wrote a book called Dear Teacher. Holly thanks one teacher in particular.
Happy Teacher Appreciation Week. I would love to thank my high school art teacher, Mrs. Duran. I've actually tried to find her to thank her in person, but I did dedicate my book, Dear Teacher, to her. And if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be where I am now as an artist and in my career. Back in grade 10, for some unknown reason, I had decided to drop art class for Spanish class, which is mind-boggling because I am terrible at languages. I hate languages. So I don't know what was going through my 15-year-old head. But my art teacher, Mrs. Duran, she found out. And she immediately told me to go down to the office and switch that Spanish for art class for grade 11. So if it wasn't for her, I honestly don't know if I would be an artist.
I wonder if Mrs. Duran is out there listening. There was another artistic creative on the roster this season, right?
Absolutely. My dear friend, artist Cole Neesmith.
Hey, my name is Cole Neesmith, and I'm an artist, and I create experiences. And I have to say that so much of those opportunities came through teachers in my life who saw my creative spirit and encouraged that in me, whether it was literature teachers or a ceramics teacher that I can remember. So much of life is about learning from adults, and I wasn't necessarily surrounded by a bunch of creative adults in my home life. And so being able to go into the classroom and encounter teachers who could see that in me and then encourage me, whether it's just through a kind word or through the curriculum that we were going through, has been so instrumental in who I have become, being that voice that encouraged me to live a creative life.
Thank you, Cole. You can hear from our next guest, Julie Vincent of The Gifted Life, in our next episode, where she thanks teachers from the bottom of her heart for their kindness.
Teachers, I'm so happy to have the opportunity to say thank you so much for everything that you do for all of the children in the schools, in particular, the children who have differences or a little bit of adversity or challenge. We know that it can be extra effort sometimes with those kids, and having one of those, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything that you do. Also, for every average kid or even the traditionally defined gifted ones, the extra things that you do to make them feel special, to have their gifts come out and be seen by everyone, is also just something that I feel so honored to have the opportunity to thank you for via kindness.org. Thanks. We hope that you have the best week and feel totally appreciated and loved.
We're thrilled to cap this off with a tease from a very special upcoming episode featuring Brett and Blake from the Wasserman Glasser family, who have generously supported this season of Why Kindness in honor of their grandmother, Sandra K. Wasserman.
To all the teachers out there, I just want to take a moment to remind how powerful your kindness really is. I think every day you make an impact for all of your students, and your students will always remember how you make them feel. And for some of them, your classroom is the place where they feel supported, most understood, and also most valued. So thank you so much for everything you do.
I just wanted to thank my teachers who have really taken their time out of their days to make the most meaningful impact they can through their acts of kindness. I think even just the little bits that they can do to make one's day or to make a learning style or something that can really benefit the way that someone learns is really appreciated. Going to a large school such as Michigan, I'm grateful for the teachers who really individualize their teaching styles to really make the best outcome and give the most support that they can to their teachers. And I am very, very grateful for their gratitude and for their kindness that they provide to each one of us.
Thank you all for tuning in. Megan, wasn't that lovely?
To hear of others express that gratitude is really powerful. Do you have anything that you'd like to add?
Yeah, I think hearing everyone thank their teachers made me reflect on who I would thank. And I want to take a moment and acknowledge Miss Jo Mickey. She's no longer with us, but she played such an instrumental role in shaping the power of words and how they can be used for kindness and unkindness. She was my English teacher in 8th grade. And I'll never forget the way that she really showed us as students we're responsible for our actions, we're responsible for our words, and they can do good or they can do harm. So I thank her and teachers everywhere that inspire us as kids to recognize the power we have. What about you?
Oh, wow. I think I'd encourage people, inspired by what you said, I'd encourage people that, if you can thank somebody, an educator that has inspired you, do it now before it's too late. It's really what keeps so many people working with kids to keep going, is the impact that they're making and knowing that they're making that difference. And then I guess to anybody who works with kids, I'd like to say that through everything, every challenge, celebration, every planned moment or unplanned moment, you've shown up for your students, making a difference and pouring into them daily in sometimes seen and celebrated, but oftentimes many unseen ways. And it matters. So thank you.
It's beautiful and so true. Thanks, Megan. If you want to hear more from our guests that you heard today, please go look for their episodes where they're all streaming now.
And of course, if you're looking for activities and lesson plans to cultivate kindness in your classroom or with your kids, whether it's also in a club or community, visit us at learnkind.org.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Why Kindness. We are so grateful for you.
And be sure to thank a teacher in your life today.
Happy Teacher Appreciation Week, everyone.
Why Kindness is made possible by the Wasserman Glasser family in loving memory of Kindmaker Sandra K. Wasserman. More information on our guest and topics from this episode are available in the show notes. We hope you enjoyed this conversation and would love to hear what you think. Please leave a review wherever you listen and join us on social media and at kindness.org to learn more about how you can be a kind maker. We will continue exploring this question, why kindness, throughout the season. So stay tuned, friend. And thank you for your kindness.